This is a film about the Great Reset. This is a film about our promised road to societal nirvana. We build a better world, actually. Not by shaping the future, Klaus. Never by giving one glance to this illusory place. For the future is a concept. It is not real in the sense this present moment can be detected by our human senses and measured by our intellect. No one can see the future. We can see a concept invented inwardly, drawn from past experiences, which is what thought is, a movement of memories, a modified continuity of what came before. But we can never see a future, for a future is ever only an idea. To the senses, the future is non-existent, always. The present moment is what manifests to human senses. The human mind is home to all concepts, including our beloved concept of time, including the concept of self, ego. Past and future are needed for self-interest to build upon and grow into. This is scholastic brain programming to become something in time. Time does not exist outside of the human mind. It is a concept. Yes, we age, but as we grow older, every day is always now. We age ever in this moment. We are not moving, but we are changing. And we are changing now, for it is always now, and now is the only place we can act. We live in now. It is now we need to change, and change demands an ending to what came before. Otherwise, where has the change been? We build a better world, not by inventing a conceptual future to end this one into, but by ending the past, and so the present, which this one came out of. How do we end the unfair distribution of financial wealth, other than by ending it? Will continuing tax havens and continuing the tragic statistic of a child dying every 5 seconds from starvation help us to build a better communal future? Will continuing the now constant funneling up of wealth into the hands of those who have already way too much bring a fairer future world for us all? Our words are saying one thing, our actions are saying something else. And when can we end this past other than now? When can we find peace and love and harmony and relationship in life and to life other than now, if now is the only time there ever was, ever is, and it was, and it will be? The Great Reset is a great continuity, and this is a familiar movement to mankind, a movement of becoming from a perceived imperfect, bloodied and deeply divided past and present moment, which exists and which has existed, into a perfect conceived future, which does not exist and which will never exist. When the future comes, someone else will be proposing a still better future. The future, rightly said, never comes, and mankind's energies today are being led towards this concept which never comes. Have you noticed, over as long as I can remember, I have been promised a better future, decade after decade, by every corrupt politician who has darkened the corridors of government, and they are all corrupt. For they are all self-seeking, selfish in nature, as educated to be. Lobbying assists immense desire in this area. Get to the top of the class and fight all your peers to remain there. Year after year is an exclusively selfish endeavour, and we have all been trained very well. And we all live our lives accordingly, as educated to. Me first, my future before yours. Your life means nothing to me. Our lives are spent in self-interested becoming, which brings isolation to our psychological worlds, and we call this conceptual becoming change. But it is not change. implies an ending to what came before, not its continual growth in continuity. A continuity towards a better perceived future is not ever any ending. No continuity ever ends. It is not in the nature of continuity to end. Seeking a better future while maintaining the continuity of the societal energies which have broken our society has little meaning in the pursuit of happiness, contentment, fairness and relationship for mankind. So this is no reset at all. It is the continuity of the same mistake mankind has ever made, which also destroys the quality of life for so many of us. It is a movement insisting all of us must be brought into line and conform our lives to the ideologies of a few who profit from such conformities. This is an enforcement, a dictatorship, and a dictatorship cannot be called building back better. The continuity of such an unfair division of wealth and decision making is one of the very things which needs to end if we are to see a truly better world today. If we are serious in changing this broken, corrupted, rotten, stinking world, we must ensure we employ the correct approach. And the correct approach is never to look to a conceptual future to end our present and past problems. The correct approach is to look to this past and this present and to see why our society has become broken or why our lives are broken. On a personal level, it is the very same, the exact same movement. Such investigation and understanding provides the required information to light the intelligence to appropriately and accurately put things right, and not in any conceptual future, for the only time we can truly act is now. We are too tired as a race, too battle-worn, too diseased to wait for the arrival of many coming years, and we are too dog-tired with the abuse we receive ever on our promised road to societal nirvana. We will all die in this doctor's waiting room, patiently seeking our promised healing. We need qualitative change in our lives, and we need it right now. And for change now, we need look to now. It is now we live in, not any perceived better promised future. And if now is wrong, then the future can never be right, for the future begins now. We need bring to an end what is perceived in accurate, crystal clear vision today to be destructive to our race. Looking to a future to solve our present problems is to look for an illusionary concept to impact our true and real lives. Obviously, this can never work. The Great Reset is a fallacy. Our world will heal when we focus our attention not on any illusory future, but on the present and past ills of our world. Not either on how to put them right, but when we come to see and understand what causes such illness, we are already in the hands of healing. To aim for a conceptual healing in opposition to a perceived illness has no meaning at all. Seeing what is wrong accurately, understanding the problem will lead to understanding the problem, which will lead to appropriate action, and this action will heal our lives. Seeing is key, and seeing is now. Seeing is ever in this present moment. Aiming for a better conceptual future, building back better, is always an illusory escape from acting in the very moment where I live, where my life is given birth and constant renewal, yet where I dare not even look. Build back better will never work. Face the problems, understand them, and end them now. This approach will have a far better chance for a renewal of our lives. Interestingly, our societal maladies and our personal lives work under the same psychological approach. Our societies are built from the inner structure of our thinking minds. Becoming into a conceptual future is childhood mandated education, none of of us has grown out of our short trousers, it seems. Well, it is time we did, for unless we change, our race will die young, and it will die pursuing its magnificent futures while remaining totally ignorant of its past and present problems, which are the very root of its continuing decay and its impending destruction.